Hey, friend. Well, it's quarter after the hour and none of our folks are on the line, which I guess means it's you and me after a couple of days with all of our comrades in one place. So I just made a quick little list about what I want to tell you about. One, let's find a time to have some doodler time together. We miss you a lot, and I can't believe we haven't even heard about the Utah trip. And then now you're taking another weekend trip in your camper. I'm just so happy for you guys, and honestly a little bit jealous, but mostly happy for you, but also a little jealous. It's just so amazing that you can take those trips. Sorry, I just muted because I was coughing. So my home, after writing that super rad Craigslist ad, we haven't quite found the perfect person. We thought we found somebody who seemed pretty cool. We spent a lot of time. And then when we wrote the email, like, okay, here's the logistics and, the money and that kind of stuff, they completely ghosted us, which I'm like, well, at least that happened before they moved in with us instead of after. So it kind of has made me feel a little bit uneasy. And meanwhile, my roommate Heather has not really been around all that much. So, I mean, I've kind of said, like, honestly, I can't say, like, I wish you were around more because I'm not sure I actually wish they were around more. I guess I wish our schedules were more compatible, and that we had more time to connect. So then I'm a little bit like, well, being at home by yourself can be a good thing, and it is, like I'm enjoying our lovely space a lot. And I kind of wish I had a roommate to hang out with a little bit more. But anyway, that's all coming. We're 3 weeks into it, almost 4. So it is what it is. We're both moved in and the place is set up and it just feels great. And I'm really enjoying the neighborhood. I got involved in my first kind of activism-y thing with, I think I told you the BLM ladies had seemingly a falling out. So the two kind of more direct action women have spun off and started their own organization, and they've always been the ones that have been more active on the Mother's Day what's it called, it's called Free Black Mamas, but it's kind of the jail support and paying people's bail and so on. So I've been on the fundraising team for that, which has been really fun. We have been super psyched about raising, I think we've raised $40,000. I've only raised 1,000, but that's still pretty good for for one person, and through like $20 and $50 donations or whatever. So that's been kind of good. And I'm trying to think about how I really engage with those groups. It's still a little bit difficult because I still don't have my second shot. So I'm probably looking at another couple of weeks before any of that actually happens in person, but feeling good being here in the district, and kind of connected to my first campaign. So psyched about that. The second thing is that I had a great conversation with Messiah last week. For, I would say out of 5 times she calls me, like 3 times she's completely dysregulated and just needs somebody to talk to. One time she's kind of low energy, and then the 5th time she's like super loving and totally just the daughter. I love all of those daughters, but the one that kind of I hang up the phone and like skip out onto the street or whatever. So that was our last talk, was really she was kind of really doing great. And we talked about, hey, wouldn't it be great if you came for a visit? And then we scheduled it right away. So she's coming on June 15th through the 18th. And then I wrote to Z and I was like, hey, your sister's going to be here. It's right around your birthday. Can we come and visit? And so like within like 24 hours, we put in place all the things for Messiah to come here and us to drive down and see Z. So really psyched about that. And I will send you a little photo of our dear Z. He lost his phone somehow on a commune and hasn't found it. So I can like barely call him anymore, but I'm just I'll text this to you later, but there's this very sweet photo of Z at May Day with his with the person that he's seen, Willa, and Z's in like this like super bright colored, like it looks like something that an outfit I would have worn when I was 18. Like it's like hippy dippy bright colors, like a bright orange scarf, and I think like a turquoise and like green top, and then like clearly some like almost handmade, either a skirt or some kind of like flowy pants or whatever. And he's got his arms around Willa and she's like looking into the camera, very confidently, and he's kind of laughing and his eyes are half closed. It's just very sweet. So I think it was good to see that photo and cute to think about going down to visit them. So psyched about that. And then yesterday or the day before, Rosaline and I got on the call early because we hadn't caught up in a while, even though we see each other. It feels like, a couple times a week. But we also started talking about the summer and maybe, her plans are to be in Ireland in August, and she's going to go over and spend time with her mom and dad. I think Neil's just going to come over for maybe a long weekend. So I was like, well, maybe I should just come. And we kind of like got excited about that. And then she was like, well, you should stay then and you should join our Oxford gang on the trip to France. And so I kind of let my imagination get away from me. I was like, yeah, I think because I've done so much of that, like going to a place and staying somewhere during COVID and working remotely, I'm like, oh, maybe all of that could work. Maybe I could go to Ireland and then have a long weekend and work from there and have a long weekend and then fly to France or whatever. So anyway, it's exciting to kind of imagine those things, isn't it? And particularly with such a good friend as Rosaline. So anyway, I haven't even of course, started looking at tickets or whatever, but fun to kind of think about that. And August seems kind of, far enough away that you could make plans in a couple weeks and be fine. So, and meanwhile, I, also talking to my parents about going home, coming for a visit in July. I mean, I'm talking to them regularly. My dad is still like just depressed and nothing to look forward to. And unfortunately, he went and got his boat out of storage finally, thinking that he would get it running, and it's all fucked up, having been in storage for a year or a year and a half. So I don't know. Then immediately he like just gets defeated, which I'm like, I know that's just kind of the depression, but anyway, it worries me. Of course it does. And my mom is, I think, spirit wise doing okay, but she's really got a lot of pain in her hip and joints, and she probably needs better physical therapy, but she's not kind of proactively getting that for herself and blah, blah, blah. So I don't know. I probably need to go and just visit and try to provide some support and help them figure out their own solutions. But so that's my little cassette tape. I am going to do today's loving kindness. I don't know if you've noticed that I'm going back into the archives, and basically today's loving kindness is loving kindness that you would have gotten on May 13th, 2020. So it's kind of cute and sweet to be just repeating some of them that we've done for you in the past. All right, sweetie, I love you. Bye.